Hello everyone and welcome. It's been a glorious past couple of days and we've been really busy digging the allotment over. The wind is starting to pick up now though, so I hope you can still hear me. Anyway, we are ready to get planting. So today I will be planting out our potatoes. I'll also be planting out some rhubarb and I'll be moving some of my hardy herbs over from my old plot into their forever homes. First of all, I just need to make sure this is nicely raked. So it's potato planting time and we are planting our potatoes a little bit earlier than we usually do. We usually plant them out around Good Friday. It's a sort of tradition for us, but we wanted to get them in the ground as soon as possible. It's currently the end of March, so it's perfectly fine to put your first earlies in now. If we are forecast a frost, they should be fine tucked up under the soil. Obviously if the foliage does start to come out over the next couple of weeks, then just earth them up and that will protect them from the frosts. The wind is really picking up now. Right, so we are trying a couple of different varieties this year, and these are the two varieties which my dad chose. They are Arran Pilot and Lady Crystal. So yeah, we've never grown these before, but we've heard good things about them, so we're pretty excited. Now I'm going to be planting a row of Arran Pilot here and then one row of the Lady Crystal here. Now Arran Pilot and Lady Crystal are both first earlies. The Arran Pilot are a nice traditional old variety. They have a good yield and they are used mainly as like a salad potato. They also have good resistance to potato scab, which is great. Lady Crystal, first early, also a good yield. It has a really good resistance to most diseases, and that's also treated as a salad new potato, which we just love. The other potato which we will be planting out are Charlotte, which I love. I mean, they are the most popular potato to be grown, and there's a reason for that, because they're delicious. I grew them last year and I think I grew them the year before, but yeah, they are a really good potato. I've never had a problem with them, and like I said, they are delicious, especially if you just treat them as a new potato with lashes of butter and mint. They are amazing. So yeah, 3 varieties this year. Just 1 row each of these, but there'll be 3 rows of Charlotte because we know that we love them. But obviously if these grow quite well, then we will probably plant more rows next year. Now when it comes to planting your potatoes, we used to dig a trench, which obviously took quite a lot of time. Now you can still do that, but last year, and I think maybe the year before as well, we started just using a long-handled trowel, which made our lives a lot easier. Now the potatoes need to be planted about 6 inches deep. Each row needs to be about 2 foot apart, and then if you are planting first earlies, each potato needs to be about 12 inches apart, and main crop potatoes need to be about 15 inches apart. So yeah, you can dig a trench or use a trowel, whichever way you prefer. Obviously if you're digging a trench, it's a lot easier if you want to lay manure or some nutrients down at the bottom there. It's a lot easier, but like I said, we use a trowel just because it makes digging the holes a lot easier. I mean, we would probably take about half an hour digging a trench. So I placed my potatoes out about 1 foot apart because these are the first earlies, and all I'm going to do is just dig the hole and pop them in. Now we always chit our potatoes, so they've got these really nice strong chits on. Make sure that when you're planting them, those chits are pointing upwards. Oh, let's put this one in first. This is the first proper crop that we're planting on the new plot, and I'm super excited. But after I put these in and after the Lady Crystals have gone in, I'll be planting up a new variety of rhubarb and moving some of our old rhubarb crowns over to their new spot. Both me and my dad absolutely love rhubarb. So on this new plot we're going to have 3 rhubarb plants. Now one of them is going to be a new one, but the other 2 are going to be old crowns moved over from where the rhubarb used to be. We're just keeping 2 of those crowns. We don't know what variety they are, but we're just going to assume that they're Victoria, which is the most traditional variety of rhubarb. Now you're supposed to plant or move rhubarb when they're dormant, so that's usually early spring or in the autumn time, which obviously isn't now because our old rhubarb has started to leaf up, but we're going to move them anyway because they're ready to be moved. Now this is our new variety. We wanted to grow a different one just to spice it up a bit. But this one is called Timperley Early, so it's going to be earlier than our other rhubarb. This can be forced as early as February, but we won't be forcing it for a couple of years yet. We're going to let it settle in, but it produces really lovely pink stems with flecks of green in them, and yeah, it's the earliest variety, so we thought we'd have a really nice early one. That's going to go here. There's going to be another rhubarb over on that side and then another rhubarb down by my dad's shed. Now if you're going to be planting your rhubarb out in a line, they need to be about 4 feet apart, and also they are heavy feeders, so mulch them with manure or add some manure in the bottom of the hole. I'm going to add some manure when I plant mine out here. Now this is quite a young plant, but if you're planting out crowns you just need to make sure that the tip is above the soil level, and they should be perfectly fine. Also they really like full sunlight, so be careful where you plant them. decided to start moving some of my herbs over from my old plot to their forever homes here. So we've started to create this little centre island with this container in the middle, and then we're creating these circular paths, well, semicircular paths either side. So we've got our main path, and then we walk around the container in the centre, which I am so excited about. It's quite a traditional kitchen garden feature. I think in the centre they would usually have a mulberry bush, but we will be planting an apple tree, my apple tree from my old plot. So that's a James Grieve, that will be going in the container, underplanted with some spring bulbs like tulips and daffodils and crocus. I think it's going to be my favourite feature on the new plot. I'm pretty excited about it. But anyway, either side of these two semicircular paths, we are planting our rhubarb. So I planted my Timperley early there, well, just now. And then the other side, we have yet to complete yet, but I'll be putting one of our old rhubarb crowns there, the Victoria one, planted there with some herbs that side and herbs this side. This side is mainly going to be the sort of hardy Mediterranean herbs, all the ones which I've got on my allotment. The other side will be things like chives, feverfew, maybe some basil, but they're a little bit more tender than the ones that are going this side. So I'll just talk through them quickly. Now obviously I've got my rosemary. I could not leave this behind. It's such a nice big healthy bush. And yeah, I just love rosemary. I love the smell. But the main aim for me growing rosemary was to start making beauty products and using it in things like teas. So I haven't really used it to its full potential yet, but there are big plans for my rosemary. Now I've also got some purple sage and some thyme. They're quite small at the moment, but hopefully they'll grow a bit bigger. So I'm going to plant my thyme here, my rosemary here, sorry, because that's the biggest one. And then I'm going to put the sage and the thyme just in the centre there. But like I said, hopefully they'll grow a bit bigger. Now the thing to remember with your Mediterranean herbs is that they really like dry, sandy soil. So in the bottom of your planting hole, just place some grit and they should be quite happy there. I mean, mine has been quite easy to look after. I shouldn't jinx it, but they are quite easy to look after. As long as they're not sat in really damp, wet soil, they should be perfectly fine. So just remember to add the grit or some sand into the bottom of the planting hole. So I'm going to get planting them, and yeah, I'm really excited to see this little area develop. It's so nice to sit down. So nice. We've been working so hard on the allotment over the past couple of days. My back is actually starting to ache. But yeah, we've just had a bit more time on our hands due to this coronavirus. And I really hope everyone's well and everyone's staying safe. We are making sure that we are keeping our distance from everyone. And of course, you are still allowed to go up your allotment plot during this sort of lockdown period. Because it's exercise and it also provides food, you're able to quite easily keep your distance from anyone because you've got your own sort of garden plots. So you're way more than 2 meters away from anyone else. So it's quite safe. But yeah, we're just making sure that we wash our hands all the time and doing the whole social distancing, so it's all good. But yeah, really pleased with what we've done today. Potatoes are planted, rhubarb's moved, herbs are moved over. We are slowly starting to move my plot over there. Next thing to do is to move the shed, which I'm so excited about. But obviously we wanted to plant the potatoes before we did any of the sort of cosmetic things to the plot. But yeah, really can't wait to get my shed over. Every time I'm on the new plot, I look over here and I think it looks really sad just sat over here by itself, because obviously this plot is neglected. You know, there's no point me doing anything to it because I'm not keeping it, basically. But yeah, cannot wait to get the shed over. Cannot wait. Everything's ready. I levelled the ground back in January. We were just waiting for it to dry up to lay the pavement slabs down, so it's dry now. We're just waiting for the day to move it. But yeah, I think the next video that we're going to do is a tour, because I'd love to show you the new plot in full. We were going to do that today, but the batteries ran out. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're enjoying the podcasts as well. And yeah, just thank you for all your support with our online shop as well. Because obviously the garden shows have been cancelled right up until the end of June now so far. So yeah, we're trying to push the online shop a little bit just to get a little bit of income in. But really so grateful for all your support. Yeah, thank you so much. Anyway, I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.